Warning, I have an opinion. What's popping? So I am a huge Pixar fan. It's all I watched as a young child, and I've watched every movie that they have ever made. I also have seen that there are a lot of opinions about the rankings of this movie. So I'm here to tell you the truth. The absolute truth. Everything I say now is correct and always will be, and nobody else is right. I'm the only one that's right, okay? This was a hard list to make, and it took me like 20 minutes. So it might change in the future, who knows? Without further ado, let's get to ranking. So obviously, number 23 is Cars 2. I mean, what did you expect? There's nothing good about this movie. There's really nothing I could really say that most people don't already know, because this movie it's just awful. It's bad. Number 22 is Brave. I have watched this movie like 2 or 3 times, and yeah, don't like it at all. I don't know, just think that the characters are stupid, plot's stupid. Why does the mom turn into a bear? Why is this the plot? So why are you killing the bears, bro? What did the bears do to you? The only good scene that I would say is in this movie is when Merida goes through and shows off her archery skills by hitting a bullseye and doing the Robin Hood thing. That's the only good part about this movie. Everything else bad. Number 21 is The Good Dinosaur. Now, I put this one above Brave, even though that this movie is completely boring and is pointless. The visual and art styles are amazing, and it's really pretty to look at, and it's just awesome. Also, again, the story doesn't make sense. Well, why does the dad die when he gets hit by water, but then Arlo doesn't, even though he way smaller and wimpy? Now, in some form or other, most people have those 3 at the bottom of their list as well. And from here on out is when this list gets controversial. Here we go, boys. I love making people angry on the internet. Number 20, I would say, is Inside Out. I am not a fan of this movie. I didn't like it at all. It has some good moments, like the bubblegum thing, the bubblegum ad. That part is the most true thing I have ever seen. It is great. Also like the scene, spoiler alert, with Bing Bong, and when he disappears, and when I don't know, it's just really cool. That scene was good, but the rest I was not a fan of. I found Joy annoying, which was disappointing, because main characters. I'm starting to see a theme here in my videos. Number 19 was Finding Dory. Another unpopular opinion. I just think that even though that there are some points in this movie that are good, it's just overall kind of boring. I like the seals. I like Dory's parents. That's about it. Dory, also pretty freaking adorable. Number 17 is Onward, which I was surprised myself putting it here, because when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is great. But then I put it up against the other Pixar movies, and it's like, wow, this is just okay for them. That's disappointing. I actually like the quest and stuff, and the fact that the concept of the movie is good. A world of magic that forgot how to use magic and has learned to just use technology. I liked that. Their execution was a little lacking. So number 16. I'm getting ready for the rage, boys. Cars 1. Now look, okay, look at me. Alright, I loved this movie as a child. I thought it was the best. But the thing is, it's for babies. It does not appeal to me anymore. I tried doing this without any nostalgia or anything, just based off of what is best. If it was based off of nostalgia, Cars would be in my top 5. But based off, movie-wise, it's not great at all. I mean, Kachiga and the funny Kachiga man will always be my favorite, but Owen Wilson Wildman as a car, and Larry the Cable Guy as a car, I don't know, not really for me anymore. Number 15, Cars 3. Yep, I said it. I liked Cars 3 better than Cars. I think that overall the story is better than Cars 1, because it has to deal with getting older and retirement, and which I understand as a sports fan, so I was able to connect to it more, I guess, because it's hard watching your favorite players get older, because you just get used to seeing them be so dominant, but then over time they just get less good, unless you're LeBron James and you just never age. Number 14, Toy Story 4. Yeah, I guess I'm like everybody else. I liked this movie until the ending. I mean, of course it makes sense because, well, Woody doesn't really get played with anymore and he just wants another purpose in life. But it goes against his character so much. What was the point of the first 3 movies if he was just gonna say, screw you guys, I'm leaving? I mean, young 1-year-old Sam, when he watched Toy Story 1, would be like, bro, what is this? What is this garbage? Why is Woody leaving? Why is he hugging Buzz? Bro, why is Buzz leaving? Bro, what's going on here? What? I thought Key and Peele in this movie was pretty great. I feel like their sequences and their plans were pretty funny. But yeah, Creepy Dolls, not a fan. Forky, I can't decide if I like Forky, because he's funny in some parts and annoying in other parts. That's basically my thoughts on Toy Story 4. Now we reach the halfway point. Number 13, Ratatouille. I've actually liked this movie more and more the more I've watched it, because I didn't watch it a lot when I was younger, but now I've watched it about like 3 or 4 times, and I would say this is where it goes. I mean, no disrespect to you die-hard Ratatouille fans, because I know some of you think that this is like top 3 Pixar movie material right here, but it's just not for me. I mean, I like it. I like this movie. I don't know if there's something fundamentally wrong about it, other than like Remy's like, yeah, I'm gonna defy my character arc and just steal everything because I can. Hey, because I'm a rat. I'm a rat. I'm like 6'9". Number 12 is Coco. I was actually really surprised by this movie. I had no expectations going into this, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. Loved it. I loved the musical aspects and the cultural aspects of the movie. Watched this in Spanish. I've watched this 2 times. I watched it once, and then I watched it again in my Spanish class, and it was pretty good. The Day of the Dead like from what I studied in that class, seemed like a pretty fun holiday. So I like that it got its own representation in a movie. Number 11 is Pixar's newest movie, Soul. Again, I had no expectations going into this because we just got Onward, and I thought, man, Pixar's going down that rabbit hole of down streaks again. But no, Soul's really good. It has a lot of deep meaning to it, in a way of living life at its fullest, I guess. I don't know. And life after death, living your best life until you die, or something along the lines of that. Number 10, Incredibles 2. Yeah, I think that this is a pretty good movie for the most part. I feel like there's a lot of plot points here that weren't super great, that held it back from being really great like the first one. Yeah, like Jack, they made a much more interesting character than they did in the first one. I like all the Dash and Violet stuff, the stuff with Elastigirl, but I don't know if I liked Mr. Incredible in this movie. He was just kind of a nuisance and a little... He bothered me. Also, I don't understand the side characters, and the villain's kind of lame. Number 9, Bug's Life. This is the most underrated movie in Pixar, okay? This movie is great. I love this movie. Bug's Life needs more recognition. Number 8, WALL-E. Yeah, I like it. I like this movie a lot. I've watched it maybe a dozen times. I like the premise of it, I like the execution of it, but it's just not one of my favorites. I mean, it's not like one of those ones that every time I think of a Pixar movie, it's not the first one that comes to my mind, you know. I feel like the only problem with WALL-E is that it's a little bit forgettable. I mean, the movie is great. I have no problem with it. It's just a little forgettable. Toy Story 3 is number 7. I could not think of a better send-off to a movie. It's great. This is where Toy Story should have ended. Toy Story 4? The first half of this movie, I feel like, was the weak point. It didn't become actually a good movie until the second half, where Woody breaks out and goes to Bonnie's, and they do the jailbreak, and the whole dumpster scene, and the Bonnie, all the toys going with Bonnie at the end. That part's great. I feel like that's what holds it back, is that the first half of the movie was a little weak, then the second half just totally stole the show. That's why I think it deserves the number 7 rank. Number 6, Finding Nemo. I'm sorry, I know I said I couldn't let the nostalgia get to me, but man, Nemo's good. I could watch Nemo countless times, bro, which I have. I just feel like it was just an all-around great movie. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it except for the weird dentist subplot. I mean, like, all the tank fish stuff was a little less, I guess, fun part of the movie as the first part. Like, the Marlin and Dory stuff was better than the Nemo subplot, I feel like. But it was still all around a good movie. And love the sharks. The sharks are the best. Number 5, Monsters Inc. or Monsters Incorporated, whichever way you want to say. I mean, this one's just a classic. You can't admit that, I mean, like, this is a top 5 Pixar movie, whether you like it or not. Just Mike Wazowski and Sully and whatever her name is, whatever her real name is. I wonder if we'll ever find out the real name of Boo. That'd be kind of cool if there was, like, another movie for that, or a show, or a spin-off, whatever. There's no words to describe Monsters Inc. as great as it is. It's just, you have to watch it. Number 4, The Incredibles, which is what some people consider to be the best superhero movie of all time, which I would gladly say you're probably right. There's all these Marvel and DC movies, but did you ever consider The Incredibles to be the best superhero movie? Well, yes, I have, because it's that good. It's the man that's caught up in the glory days and wanting to prove to the world that he can still be a superhero. And also, Syndrome, I mean, come on, he's the best Pixar villain. Syndrome is the movie. Number 3, Up. I mean, let's just all face it. The first 10-15 minutes of this movie is one of the greatest sequences in all of film. And it's heartbreaking. And that's what and the fact that it carries on into that with Carl's struggles throughout the rest of the movie is amazing. I love this movie. I can't find anything wrong with it. It is just great. But I have 2 more that go in front of it. Number 2, Toy Story 1. I mean, this is just a classic, man. I know all the words to this movie. I feel like I've watched it so many times. Like I said earlier, 1-year-old Sam could not stop watching this. He opened up a present on Christmas. The first present was Woody, and he refused to open the rest of them because Toy Story. I mean, the chemistry between Buzz and Woody is awesome, and all the toys, and the fact that they have to deal with moving and all these toy problems, is that you never really think of it that way. And that's why I always thought that toys were actually alive when I was a kid. And then I felt bad when I didn't play with a toy, so I would just go over and use them. I feel like that was the goal here, toys. Make sure you appreciate them. But there is one thing better. Number 1, Toy Story 2. It takes everything great about the first movie, makes it infinitely better. Also, you add in Bullseye, Jesse, and Pete, and booyah, this is the greatest Pixar movie ever. It's one of my favorite movies ever. It takes all those struggles with being a toy, and then builds upon it. That's what makes all the Toy Story movies good, excluding 4. Just all the scenes with Jessie, with like her abandonment issues, and how toy Woody feels like he's gonna go through the same thing at some point, and struggles on whether going to a museum and being admired is good enough that never being played with again doesn't matter to him anymore. It's just a good thing to build off of. And that Buzz is actually competent now. He understands things. It just deals with the problem of what happens when a toy is broken or unused. What do you do with it? I mean, that's what, like I said, it builds off of this in the next 2 movies, because they're like, man, that's a winning formula. This is our best movie we ever made. Let's try to do that again. So there you have it. That's my list. But before you leave, I want to talk about one more thing. If you are aware, there is something called the Pixar theory, which is basically that every movie is connected in some shape or form. You can see this with Easter eggs and story points and plot points, but I'm here with my own Pixar theory. Maybe they are connected not by Easter eggs and plot points, but through meaning. Every movie has a message saying, live your best life and live it to the fullest. You can see this with a teacher looking for meaning, an old man who has trouble letting go with things and forgetting to live in the now, a man who is stuck in the glory days, including a car that is stuck in the glory days. You see what I mean? They are telling you that you should go on your own path and enjoy living, being happy with your life, having meaning, which is a very deep concept if that is what Pixar is aiming for. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, if you agree with my ranking, or if you agree that is the true Pixar theory, or if I'm just reading into it too much. Can't wait to see LSP Sub Slimy's response to this video. Have a good day, friends!